Yeah.
And I have this thing. And I've heard this before. I listened to a lot of podcasts, and there's this 10% rule. This rule that you can always cut 10% from budgets, from your expenses, without even feeling it.
Sure.
So you giving your managers, your supervisors, and anyone involved in managing costs, asking them, hey, come up with a plan to cut 10% of your budget. Not saying that we may need to do it right now, but we want to have this plan in place. If we start seeing certain things on the horizon, that we could go through and make those cuts. So, and I do kind of agree with that. I think there's fat in every organization, right? And as you grow, it gets harder and harder to be lean. And, so I do like that 10% rule. And I think you should ask your people or yourself how, looking at things, how would we cut 10%? Because I think it just happens and people just pick up the slack and you don't even notice it.
I like it.
You don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you said, that way you have buy-in. In addition to just getting buy-in, which is one byproduct of this conversation, the other part is you get ideas that you're not going to come up with, that your employees are going to come up with, that are going to potentially help the health of the business. And that's also a good thing. Yeah.
To your point, they're having conversations without you.
Yes.
So have them educate you. Hopefully you've hired some really smart people that are, much better at you than, doing certain things. And it's important.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And I think that, this 10% thing, that's real easy. But I also think you should do this on a regular basis, depending upon how often is up to you, but auditing your expenses. And when I say auditing, all of them, because the small ones, and I made this mistake, I still make it. You're like, oh, that's only $10. That's only $50 a month. And look at all this stuff. But the small ones really add up, and they're often ignored because you're not auditing these expenses, right?
I hate it when I have to spend, 30 minutes or even an hour dealing with cutting out a $50 a month expense. It feels like a waste of my time.
It does.
But I know that it's not when you multiply it by 12, right, over the course of a year. Yeah. And B, that doing that exercise and preserving that mindset of let's make sure we're aware of all of these expenses that, like you said, one by one aren't going to change the nature of your business, but in aggregate, absolutely will change the nature of your business. And just being aware of those and having a practice of thinking about them, not every day, not every minute of every day, because then you'll never get anything done. But having this practice of not ignoring them, I think it really is really helpful. I like that idea.
I do. Yeah.